Good afternoon, outdoor artists, and winter has arrived here in upstate New York. It's time actually to replace the bird church that I have had on this rock in the backyard. Last winter it disintegrated. During the summer I put a little gnome on here, and in the winter I put a church with I like to call it a bird church because it's designed to look like it goes for birds. Now the beginning of the project here is to just remember the size of the rock, so when I get into the shop I can size it appropriately. I didn't remember my measuring tape, so I'm measuring it in with a channel lock plier. So you can see it's about 1 channel lock wide, and I'm going to call it a channel lock and a half long, and that's good enough I think for where we're going. I'll go out into the woods and get a piece of scrap oak left over from the project, the shed project, and continue on from there. We've moved into the shop now, and I'd like to show you what I've come up with as a concept for the bird church. It occurred to me that if birds were actually building a church, they probably wouldn't have it look like a human church. So this one I've done a little bit differently. I noticed the end of this red oak plank basically had exposed bark, and it looked like the center of it was a spire of some kind. So I extended that up and then have added a simple cross at the top. Inside I've glued that cross all the length of it, but since I got this to clamp fine, but since I didn't have a clamp down here, I simply used a small stick to push down in there, indicating pressure, or increasing the pressure I should say. You don't really need a tool for every single job. Sometimes you can just make one. The roof is going to be a simple slope, kind of like my shed roof actually. And I'm going to make that out of these 2 pieces of shingle that I made a couple years ago with the fro. And these are again a red oak, and what I'm going to do is just clamp them together with some glue as is. I'm not going to try to improve the texture or anything by running through the planer. I'm just going to leave them pretty rough and put them there, and that will end up creating holes on either side, triangular holes almost, which I think might be more appropriate way for birds to enter if they were actually utilizing a church. I don't think they'd need a door like you'd see in a standard human church. So that's the concept so far. Stay tuned. Well, I'm inside the shop and I've completed the bird church, and I wanted to give you a quick overview of that before I set it out on the platform outside at its final resting place. The church is made entirely of red oak except for the dove on the cross, and that is actually made of cherry. I like the way that this red oak formed almost, it looked like I was heading for a spire, so I completed that, and that was just natural. And so then this outside darker pieces here are the bark of the tree. The roof of the church I made of, basically I was making shingles with a fro, so these are a couple of the shingles, and I left them rough just because I like the look of that. Quite often you'll see with wooden shingles on a structure, you'll see that kind of rough look, so I like that. I left these sides open intentionally as a place for the birds to come and go as if they were going to their church, because after all, if birds were making a church, they probably wouldn't have a door on the ground. They'd probably have something else, so that was kind of fun. Here, I just wanted to show you what I've used for my finishes. The main body of the church is, I use this flood product, which is a UV, not proof, but UV resistant, I should say, because one of the things that deteriorates wood outside is ultraviolet light. It's actually a clear or natural color, so the natural beauty of the wood can come out. And then for the most part, I've used screws, but also this Gorilla glue, which is suitable for exterior environments and also a wide variety of materials, and I've used that quite a bit before. the biggest thing I'm worried about on this is that that dove is glued on, and then this whole cross is actually glued on. So those are the points that over time we'll see that if that glue holds up. But next time you see this, I'll deploy it outside on the platform. Well, here we are. The bird church is installed out here on its stand right near the garden of our house, and we'll see how it makes out for the winter here. Hopefully it'll be attracting some kind of birds or something. Let me know what you think in the comments of this concept, how it came out, and how it looks. And don't worry, I'm not shy, so don't worry about being honest. Okay, this is the Outdoor Artist, and I'm signing off.